Hey there, my name is Leah, and I love sharing songs and stories and ideas that are helping me to be more intentional. And maybe they'll be a gift to you too. I promised 3 ways to help enjoy the journey more. Well, what I have is a super simple technique that I'm practicing. The other day, in passing, a friend mentioned that she learned from a teacher. So, it's a couple of steps removed. It's been practiced by a few folks. Celebrating when an idea is born. Just the seed, the germ that's under the ground, resting, but has the potential to become something that peeks through and bears fruit. Celebrate the idea. That's step 1. Step 2, celebrate the becoming, the unfolding. When that seedling peeks out, and it doesn't have any fruit yet, but there it is, it's green, and it's possible, and the potential starts to be visible. Celebrate, put on a party hat. And finally, when that thing comes to fruition, comes to fruit, savor that. Let that juice run down your chin. Get sticky with it. Really just engage completely in the completion, in the experience coming into being. During that same conversation, another friend mentioned that she felt like she was planting seeds and having ideas and nothing was coming to fruition. She didn't even mention whether or not seedlings were peeking through. She was just experiencing failure. And everybody has experienced thinking they had planted a seed and then nothing peeks up. It can be an extremely frustrating experience. But when we give ourselves permission to celebrate every step along the way, from the emergence of an idea, just the sweetness of the possibility of something new coming into our world, and celebrating evidence that that idea might have a space in our reality. When we remember to do those things and to give ourselves credit when we do accomplish those things, even tiny little things, even if we just celebrate our decision to make a meal, to eat a meal, to reach out to a friend, these are meaningful steps along our journey. So let's take a moment to celebrate ourselves, celebrate our little wins, our little ideas, our little steps, hopping along the path, getting where we're going. Celebrate new ideas, celebrate possibilities, celebrate inspiration. Celebrate whenever we think of it, whenever we remember to acknowledge that the process is the present. The present is the gift. This is the place where we can gain all of the joy of living. Now, we either acknowledge and celebrate or we don't. And we let the moment pass as if it's an insignificant thing, when in fact, we have the opportunity to celebrate in any moment. Okay, so around my home, it's planting frenzy. It's planting frenzy. And I will be honest, I'm not the planter. I had 1 or 2 springs where it's like the first year I was pregnant with my eldest, who's now 22. I remember this feeling of being rooted to the earth, earth mama, and something is growing inside of me, a new life, and I'm gonna get my hands in the dirt and I'm gonna see things grow. And then my daughter was born. I didn't have time to be messing around in the garden. But the point is, I absolutely remember reveling like tears of joy and excitement in, first of all, when I had the idea of having a baby. It may not have been what most people would consider the best timing, but at the moment, I felt myself to be in love. And I felt the idea of bringing a baby into that relationship would be a further expression of that love. My first pregnancy was not easy. And I don't remember often celebrating the fact that I was pregnant because there was so much challenge around me. But I have had the opportunity in subsequent pregnancies, specifically in subsequent gestation, to really sit still and enjoy the process, the magic that was happening in my body, this natural thing that really all I needed to do was sit still and let it unfold in me and eat well and rest and limit the unnecessary stress. But in general, nature just does its thing, right? And then finally, when my first daughter was born, even though there was some trauma and challenge associated with my first birth, there were people yelling at me. It is often common practice to go, push, push. When that's entirely unnecessary, your body's going to do its thing. You can't not push. You can clench up and make it harder on yourself. But when the body is ready, when the time is right, that baby's coming. And it can also occur that because of fear or physical resistance of any kind, that the baby doesn't and the body doesn't do what nature has designed. And I bless all births as they occur. But I will say, through my 3 experiences, the more I was able to relax and celebrate, enjoy, and anticipate, enjoy, the easy is the wrong word, the more flow I experienced. Now, I know everybody's got a different birth story who's had the opportunity to give birth. But my experience has been when I was able to celebrate the idea of bringing in a new life, celebrate the process that was happening, unfolding in me, and celebrate the arrival, the entire experience has become elevated from just something that was happening to a miracle that was occurring through me. And if you have never given birth to another human being, and that's not something you intend to do or are physically able to do, you still have that creative capacity, as does every human being. Every one of us is a creator. And I believe in the Old Testament, in Genesis, where it says we are made in the image and the likeness of God. One of the things that is being pointed to, and Matthew Fox mentions this in his book, Creativity, that we are creators. It says in the book that we have dominion. And what that means is that nothing comes into existence that isn't already there. Matter can't be destroyed or created. However, we have dominion over what's here. We get to work our creative magic with the raw materials in our environment. So that means we have the power to create peace or strife in our relationships. We have the power to decide what we want to bring through ourselves into the world. And as soon as an idea strikes, that's gold, that's magic. And as soon as we have inspirations and opportunities to unfold that thing, it's magic. And as soon as we have the opportunity to celebrate and recognize that initial germ of an idea has come through us into reality, that's magic. And the invitation is to celebrate all along the becoming journey of whatever your creations are. To have that level of awareness and appreciation of ourselves as part of the divine, as creators, as co-creators in the universe. Come take my hand, do the dance that only you can. Who you are, who I am, is a chance just to celebrate. Come take my hand, do the dance that only you can. Like you can. Who you are, who I am, is a chance just to celebrate. Although the world gets weird sometimes, although we're filled with fear sometimes, we make the pain disappear sometimes when we celebrate. Come take my hand, do the dance that only you can. Like you can. Who you are, who I am, is a chance just to celebrate. Although the world gets weird sometimes, although we're filled with fear sometimes, we make the pain disappear sometimes when we celebrate. So come take my hand, do the dance you can. Like you can. Who you are, who I am, is a chance just to celebrate. And so I would love to hear from you about any time when you recognized early on this idea is something amazing. And so you started celebrating even before there was any physical evidence, even before there was a thing, a final product or whatever. that you knew early on this is something to be celebrated, even when it gets challenging, sometimes in that evidential, that part in the middle where we're looking for validation that this can happen. All the way through, share, if you would, in the comments below, or email me. Let me know about a time when you recognize this journey is the bomb. I'm moving in a direction that deserves to be celebrated. And I would love if you would subscribe to the channel. If you would reach out, check out my website, be in touch in whatever way you feel inspired to do. Let's stay connected. Let's keep each other lifted. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.